Standing one leg balance. Hold a wall or the back of your chair for support. And stand really, really tall, feet are parallel. Bring all of your weight to one leg and just lift your other leg. It can be half an inch off of the ground. Breathe. Your stance leg, your standing leg is slightly bent at the knee. That's going to make it more difficult to balance, but it'll also ensure that you're not locking out or hyperextending through your knee joint. Now maybe you can get fancy and get really light on your fingers, or maybe just bring one finger up. Your other arm can come out for more balance. And then you can even play with bringing your fingertip up, or maybe your hand up. But always keep this in a really safe environment. And put your foot down. We're going to do the other side. I'm going to give you all of your weights on that foot, knees slightly bent. Sit up, stand up really tall, lift your leg. Breathe fully. And again, maybe come to fingertips, maybe to one finger. And just play. So the next exercise is the tightrope walk. And you're just going to imagine that you're on a tightrope, but you're going to use the wall for support. Start on one side and start with your feet parallel. So you're going to go toe to heel, but there'll be space between your feet as you walk. And once you get to one end, you'll just simply move backwards. And this is definitely where you'll need the wall for support. And just back and forth, bringing your heel right in front of your other toe. To make it more challenging, you can always use a very light touch on the wall. One fingertip. It just always feels supported and safe. For the tandem stance, use a wall for support. You can always remove your hand from the wall if you don't need it. And you're putting one foot in front of the other, so it's a heel to toe stance. And then bringing your weight right between both feet and just stand really tall. So if this is comfortable and easy for you, get really light with your hand against the wall, or maybe even remove it and see if you can balance with your arms out to the sides. Always be close to the wall so that you can lean into the wall if you need it for support. If you find that this is no problem at all, you can add a tandem walk, which will be bringing your back foot to the front, toe to heel. And then going backwards. Just a couple more. If you just do the stance, make sure that you turn and do the stance with the other leg forward. So we'll end with that. And again, see if you can get light with your fingertips or remove your hand from the wall. For standing side steps, you can, again, hold onto the wall for support or move to an uncluttered space on your floor and simply step side to side. You can make your side steps as big as you want, keeping your feet parallel. And if you'd like to add a challenge, you can even lift one knee, just a little. Arms out to the sides will give you a lot of extra support. Standing arm glides. Your arms will start in cactus and you'll be reaching up and down. Your elbows don't need to extend. So this will be a lot more challenging if you bring yourself against the wall. So maybe your feet are 6 to 12 inches from the wall, your head, your knuckles, your elbows, your shoulders, and your hips are back. Or maybe you can bring your heels all the way against the wall. And then just inhale, lift your arms up, and bring your arms down. So lots of options for standing arm glides. If you do bring your head against the wall and your chin comes up, then I recommend that you do this away from the wall. You want to be gazing straight ahead. A couple more. Well done, those are hard. For wall push-ups, you're going to definitely need a wall for support. And the higher your hands are up the wall, the easier it will be. The lower your hands are, the further your feet will be out and the more challenging it will be. So I'm going to show you a couple different options. You can find one and hang out there. So my hands are even with each other, shoulders are back. Stand really, really tall and bring your hands pretty wide so that as you draw your chest towards the wall, your elbows come right over your wrists. And then straighten your arms. Bend through your elbows, bring your chest towards the wall, and then straighten. Probably the most important thing to remember when doing these wall push-ups is to not let your hips sag forward. So it's as if you're a plank of wood from your ankles all the way up to your shoulder and your head. Hips don't sag forward. And then walk your feet up towards the wall and slowly come out. So 4-way leg lifts. Hold onto the wall or the back of a chair for support. Once again, with your stance leg, slightly bend at your knee so that you're not locking out at your joint. Really, really tall, shoulders back, nice deep breath. And begin with a knee lift forward. Extend your leg out to the side. And then back, and then do a hamstring curl where you bend your knee and your heel comes towards your glute. Knee up, knee to the side, and back, and then hamstring curl. Make sure that your pelvis isn't rolling forward when you extend your legs straight back, so keep your belly lifted in. That's 3. Nice and tall. And we'll do 5 more. You may feel this on your standing leg. It's supporting all of this movement, so it's working too. And I don't want to give you the cold shoulder, so I'm going to move my chair to the opposite side. Stand tall, same cues. Stand on one leg, slightly bend your knee, so it's a micro bend, so you're not locking out your joint. Shoulders back, inhale, lift up. To the side, back without falling forward, and then hamstring curl. Standing heel lifts, you can place your hand on the back of your chair or a wall for support. Feet are parallel, stand really tall. Lift your heels up and then lower them down. So for heel lifts, you're coming up and down and just holding at the top, making sure that your heels don't rotate outward. For an added challenge, you can lift one leg up and do half of your reps on one leg and half on the other. I'm just giving you lots of options. And again, you can also not hold on to the wall or a chair for support and do 2-leg or 1-leg heel lifts. You can do the arm circles standing or seated. If you're seated, feet parallel. Your palms will be up, your shoulder joints will be reaching back. And you're just going to make circles through your shoulder joints. They're not huge, but the goal here is to try to keep your palms up, your thumbs moving towards the ground, and your pinky fingers moving up. Get all of your movement through rotating your shoulder joints rather than wrists or elbow movement. Let's do 5 more. If this bothers your neck, simply lower your arms and perform these lower than shoulder level. Seated wide arm windmills. Arms can come up, shoulders back, and then your hips are staying down. And you'll feel a nice stretch through your waist. So these are almost like lateral crunches. You're using your waist muscles, your oblique muscles, to draw your whole body up. If this feels like too much, then hold on to your chair and just bend side to side. And be very careful. You want to be in a nice, stable chair so that as you're leaning to one side, you don't topple over. You're almost pushing your opposite hip into your seat as you tilt away from that side of your body. Great. For chair squats, sit towards the very edge of your chair and bring your hands to the armrest with your elbows pointing back. Lift up straight, and here we're going to bend at the hips to come up, but try to keep your chest lifted. Use the strength of your arms to draw up all the way to standing, and then come down the opposite way. Bend your knees, keep your knees pointing towards the tips of your sneakers, or tips of your toes, your second and third toe if you're barefoot, and take a seat. So shoulders stay back, hinge at your hips, lift up through your chest, come to standing, and reverse that pattern. This shouldn't hurt your low back at all. To progress this, bring your arms to the sides or use the chair armrest a little less. You don't want to be so towards the tip of your chair that you don't hit it as you're coming down. So make sure that you're definitely going to sit back into the chair as you lower down. You can always look behind you for a moment. And then one last progression would be arms forward and even slightly up. And let's just do a couple more of these. Great. You're going to sit again at the edge of your chair, feet parallel, arms out to the sides, elbows in at your waist, sit up tall, and just bend. So you can put a lot of water in your water bottles if you're holding water bottles, or just a little, depending on how much resistance you want to have. But probably the biggest thing to remember with bicep curls is to keep your elbows in at your waist. Let's do 5 more. Great. For seated tricep dips, bring your hands behind you, elbows back, lift up tall, and you're going to lift your hips off of the chair using your arm muscles, up and then down. That is the exercise, up and then down. Keep your shoulder joints back, and then to progress this, you would walk your feet a little further from the chair, maybe even to extended. But you can always come back and bring your feet closer. Let's do just a couple more. Press up and down. Last one. For rows, you can do this seated or standing. You'll need your water bottles or bags again. Bend at your hips, draw your shoulder joints back, and then try to bring the water bottles up towards your armpits. Elbows move back, and then straight. So it's important, though, when you're seated to not round your back. So it's better to sit more upright. And then if you want to, you can do this standing. Bringing your hands up to your armpits and then lowering down. So there's just a little bend through my hips, but lots of extension through my spine. And take a deep inhale. You are done. Congratulations. Our first floor exercise is a variation of floor cobra. So you're going to draw your belly on the floor, extend your legs out, and bring your chest down. Extend your arms out to the sides, palms down. You're going to gaze down or towards your mat. I'm going to turn and talk to you. So I'm going to keep my head to the side. So the first action is to stretch one leg and then the other back. So there's lots of space from your waist to your shoulder joints. And then inhale and bring your shoulders up towards the sky, bringing your shoulder blades onto your back. Exhale, draw your low belly in and reach your tailbone towards your heels. And then take an inhale and lift your arms. Exhale, bring your arms down. Keep your shoulder joints up. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, down. Up. And down. Keep drawing your belly in. This should not tighten up your low back at all. And down. Let's do 5 more. Inhale, hold up. Exhale, down. Inhale up. Exhale, down. Inhale up. Exhale, down. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale, down. Last one. And down. So from floor cobra, you're going to roll to your side and use your bottom arm as a pillow. Bend your bottom knee for support and bring your top hand to the floor in front of you. Extend your top leg, flex your ankle, turn your toe down, and lift your heel. And then just lift up and down through your top leg. This works your outer hips, your abductor muscles. Let's do 5 more. And we're going to switch right to the inner thighs, lying on this side. So extend your bottom leg out, flex your top knee, bring your top foot in front of you. You can hold onto your ankle or just bring your hand to the ground. Flex your ankle, your bottom ankle, draw your toe down, your heel up, and then lift up and down. Working your inner thigh or adductor muscles. Let's do 5 more. And let's repeat that sequence on the other side. So you can just roll onto your belly and come to the other side. I'm going to flip around. Use your bottom arm as a pillow. Bend your bottom leg for support. Flex your top ankle, draw your toe down, your heel up, and lift and lower. Last 5. Great. Bend your top leg, bring your top foot forward and in. Flex your bottom ankle, toe down, heel up, inner thigh lifts. Five more. Make sure you're breathing. So from here, we'll do top leg circles. Bottom leg is bent, top leg is extended out. Ankle is flexed, and you're going to want to put your top hand forward for support. Circle through your top hip joint, making circles in the air in one direction. We'll do 8 in each direction. And then reverse for 8. You're holding your abdominals in to support this move. And you're done. Once again, you're going to roll onto your belly and come to the other side. I'm going to flip around for you. Use your arm as a pillow. Top arm forward, bottom leg bent. Lift your top leg, flex your ankle, toe down, heel up, and circles in one direction. And let's reverse. Well done. For a bridge pose, you're going to lay on your back. You want your feet about hip width apart, parallel to each other. So you don't want your toes to come out or to point in. You're going to gaze straight up, and then you're going to draw your shoulder blades together towards each other. And we're going to start in this robot arm position. So press the back of your head, the backs of your shoulders, your elbows, and your feet down. Take an inhale and lift your hips up, reaching your tailbone past your knees, pressing the backs of your shoulders down and lifting your chest to the sky. There should be no tension in your back. You can roll your shoulders towards each other. Keep lifting up, lifting your chest and breathing. And make sure that your knees don't cave in or bow out. Your knees are even with your hips and your ankles and your feet. It's very important to not look side to side with this exercise. You're gazing straight up, and there's even a slight lift in your chin so that the back of your neck has its natural arch. This is great work for your back muscles and great extension work for your spine. Take one more deep inhale, lift your chest, lift your hips. Exhale, settle slowly down. Bring your arms out to the sides. And then slowly flatten your low back down. And then put a big arch in it. Exhale, flatten your low back. Inhale, arch. Just a couple more of these pelvic tilts. Last one. Roll carefully to your side. Use both of your hands to press down. Shoulder blades stay on your back. Come up. And make sure that whenever you're getting up from the ground, that you take a few breaths in a seated position first. So breathe fully. And then slowly make your way up to standing.